All right. Well, hello, everybody. 4 people, 9. All right. Thanks for showing up, y'all. We'll give it just a minute, I guess. Let some other folks get attached. Oh, holy shit. All right, no, we're doing just fine. Let's get this thing going. I don't need the amp. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you very much, folks, for tuning in. Nick Leakey suggested I do this. I was like, oh man, yeah, sounds like a great idea. And so what I'm doing is I'm playing the Last Pale Light in the West record, and I got a whole bunch of questions here that folks sent in, and so I'll answer those and kind of talk about each song as we go. Yeah, so that's the plan. I can't take more questions on the comments here now because I can't read and do all this stuff at the same time. I can only read one thing at a time. So, yeah, this has just been fun for me. Let's hop right in. We'll answer a few questions first, and then I'll start playing the record. But, all right, we'll start with an easy one. Well, an obvious one, kind of, which is, why was Blood Meridian your inspiration? What did you like about it? And Blood Meridian was exactly what I wanted from a book. And I have to read these because I didn't memorize them. That would just be ridiculous. So I'm going to be reading to you, which isn't the best, but whatever. So it was what I wanted from a book. I love the Western genre. My dad was a big Louis L'Amour fan. I read a lot of his books when I was a kid. And I saw movies like Silverado at Cinema 150 in Little Rock in the theater. And that stuck with me. There's tons of great Western movies, of course. But that one I saw in the theater. And so that was, I don't know. I still like that movie. But yeah, I love Westerns. And so I love the genre. I don't know. And it's a picture of America that's a very young, early America. I don't know. It's just interesting. But maybe the book is meant to appeal to a certain type of reader. But I think I'm that type. And then, more specifically about Blood Meridian, it's written in a tone that I really enjoyed. All right, let's stick to the script here. Yes, it's brutal and horrifying, but it's written in a almost King James biblical style. That for all of its flourishes and descriptions, it cuts right to the bone. It's a very formal style, but the narrator never falters or breaks character. He stays serious, even when the characters themselves are saying something that's humorous. The narration never, veers away from its biblical tone. He stays out of the way and lets the characters just do their thing. But I don't know. But at the same time, the words are just beautiful. I think it reads the way I wish a lot of poetry read. I'm not a big fan of poetry usually, but if it sounded like Blood Meridian, I'd read it all the time. All right. What else did I like about Blood Meridian? Why was it an inspiration? The characters, obviously, I found them enthralling, mysterious enough, but I don't know. He doesn't let you into their heads. But he doesn't have to. Like I said, it's all on the page there. And then finally, it's all the big ideas that the judge talks about. Important stuff like what it means to be human and good and bad, and how do we make the choices we make, and what are we doing here, and who's in control? Does humanity stand a chance? That kind of stuff. I don't know. And the judge is just a great character for spouting off bullshit like that. So yeah. So the genre and the characters and the writing style all put together. It's just right up my alley. So it's still my favorite novel. When did you first read the book? Probably about 1999. A friend of mine, Gretchen, I was working with her making furniture for this guy named Don Estes, and I was a horrible metal worker. I'm really bad at welding. She was awesome, but she gave me a copy of the book, and I read it 99 or 2000 maybe for the first time. At what point did you know you could make a full album? What was your favorite part? I didn't really think about making an album out of it the first time I read it, but when I reread it a few years later, I was underlining things I liked and realized that they would all go really well in, you know, folky country type songs. And so that's when I had the idea. And then when I was about to go on the Chuck Reagan revival tour, I was like, man, I should really record something, you know, solo. And that seemed like a good project to do for that tour. I don't know if I finished it before that tour or not. I don't think I had it. I'd written it, but I don't think I had it for sale. But yeah, that kind of spurred me on to actually write the songs. Did you always plan to base each song on a character? Well, the first song I wrote was Chambers, and he's a minor character. He's only there for a few pages. But once I had his song down, it seemed like a very logical way to kind of put the record together. Trying to tackle all of Blood Meridian in one song would be daunting. Chopping it up character by character made sense to me. And yeah, trying to do it all in one song would be like trying to make a movie out of it, trying to make a 2.5-hour movie out of Blood Meridian, which I don't think can be done. Which leads to my next question. Did James Franco, who I think owns the movie rights to it, did he ever contact me? No. No, he did not. What dictated the track order? Since it doesn't follow the book. All right, this is the last question, and then I'll start. Well, it's not the last question. It's the last question, and then I'll start playing. The track sequence kind of dictated itself. I knew I'd written the title track "Last Pale Light" as an introduction. It's not that song's not based on any particular character, and so as an introduction, it naturally came first. And then I felt the second song should be the kid. The first song about a character should be the kid. So you've got the introduction, the kid, and then obviously you've got to have the judge as the final song. And then in between, you just kind of try to make it flow musically as best you can. So yeah, Last Pale Light in the West. There's a little bit of hope in it. There's a light out there somewhere. You know, who knows if you're going to make it, but it's there and you can follow it maybe. There's a few of those. I've talked about it before. Like in No Country for Old Men, the old sheriff's talking about having a dream about a fire that his father set, and he's following this fire. And on the road, On the Road, there's at the end of the book, there's that guy in the yellow parka that finds the kid. There's these kind of bright things at the end of these very dreary books. And I like to think that Cormac McCarthy's kind of leaving us just a shred of hope. I'm drinking margaritas tonight. I figure since most of this stuff takes place in Mexico, you know, it's a pandemic, but there's no reason we can't stay civilized. All right. Thanks for being here, y'all. Last Pale Light in the West. Let's do the record. In my hands, I hold the ashes. In my veins, black paint runs. In my chest, a fire catches. In my way, a setting sun. Dark clouds that gather round me. Into the west, my soul is bound, and I will go on head free. And there's a light to be found. The last pale light in the west. The last pale light in the west. And I ask for no redemption in this cold, barren place. Still I see a faint reflection, and so by it guide my way. Last pale light in the west. Last pale light in the west. And that's all there is, the last pale light in the west. It's pretty short, pretty simple, really simple. But I like the chords. I think it kind of captures the mood and makes a good introduction. The only line from the book in that song is actually the title, Last Pale Light in the West. And I don't know, it wasn't given a whole lot of weight or time in the novel. It's just kind of an obscure part of a sentence on page 337. But the rest of it was just kind of setting the mood. God damn, the kids are running all over the place. All right, so a couple more questions and then we'll do the next song. How did Last Pale Light in the... this is from Nick Leakey. He gathered up a bunch of these questions for me. Thank you, Mr. Nick. How did Last Pale Light in the West get in the Walking Dead episode? Even though there's another song you wrote that's on the soundtrack. I owe the whole song being in the Walking Dead thing to a guy named Scott Gimple, who was the showrunner on The Walking Dead. And I didn't know what a showrunner was at the time when he called me. But I think they're kind of a writer, producer, all rolled up into one. They're in charge of the whole story arc. It's their story. They're kind of in charge. And he gave me one of the biggest compliments I've ever had. Not only writing a scene for that song, The Governor, but when he called me and was asking about it, he said he'd written a whole lot of scenes for The Walking Dead while listening to the album. And that just blew my mind. I was a fan of the comic before it was a show, and then I was a fan of the show right from the beginning. So that was huge. So I gotta say thank you, Scott Gimple, for giving me that chance. But yeah, I wrote another song called This Old Death. He was like, you want to try to write a song for it? He's like, I've already got the scene planned out, but give it a shot. And I wrote a song called This Old Death. But it ended up that Last Pale Light was just too perfect for this scene. But I like the song This Old Death, so they were nice enough to put that on the soundtrack. So Last Pale Light's in this show, but This Old Death is on the soundtrack. So, you know, they both see the light of day. It's good. I'd played This Old Death, but I didn't have time to learn it. It's in my notes. It says play This Old Death, but I'm like, I can't do it. Sorry. Where exactly did you pull from in the text, and what did you expand upon? All right, so basically I'll go through this a little bit for each song. Blah, 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 that's about Last Pale Light. Yeah. All right, so the next song is The Kid. And the funny part about it is, well, it's got the most direct quotes from the book. Almost every line in the song is directly just pulled out of the book. And most of them are from the judge's perspective. The judge, the last song on the album, is instrumental, because the judge is the judge, and, you know, you can't put him into words. But The Kid, I don't know, the judge has a lot to say in The Kid's song. The only line that's actually not from the book is the look away, which I borrowed from Dixie. Yeah, you know. Which, I don't know. The antebellum South. You know, I'm very proud to be from the South, especially Arkansas. I'm very proud of my roots and some of the stuff that's come from the South. But the antebellum South is absolutely horrifying and terrifies me. I can't imagine a scarier fucking place. Especially if you're a slave, obviously. It's just, oh, God. There's this book. We'll get off subject here for just a split second. There's the Flashman series of novels. They're these historical fiction books written by, I think his name's George MacDonald Fraser. And they take place in the 1800s. And there's this character Flashman, and he goes all over the place, whatever. He's awesome. Horribly not politically correct, but they're hilarious and very historically accurate. But there's one, Flash for Freedom, takes place in the American South in the mid-1800s. And his trip up the Mississippi River trying to get out of New Orleans through Memphis to Ohio is, it's absolutely terrifying. The author nails it. So yeah, the Flashman series is other books that I like. But he brought it home. He made it absolutely terrifying. So, that all brings me back to Dixie. It seemed appropriately horrifying enough to borrow from Dixie and stick it into a Blood Meridian song. So the only line in The Kid that's not from the book is, look away, look away, look away, you know. Alright, that's enough talking, I think. Let's just play The Kid. Your mother died now you were born, her name you never knew. Look away, nothing to lose. You left East Tennessee at 14, wandered to the west. Look away, born in death. Fought the sailors, New Orleans. You worked the flatboats, walked the streets. Hitting at the Dutch in 49. There you saw the devil very first time. Kid, don't you know me? We are the last of the true. Now drink up. I said drink up. Cause tonight your soul's required of you. Well, you signed on with a stone mad captain, rode on Mexico. Look away, or be home. Tailwind killers, one and all. We were killers free. Look away, look to me. You saw lancers with heathen hordes. Mustang bells and the costumes of war. The hell ain't half full, boy, hear me. War is the game, God that we seek. That kid, don't you know me? We are the last of the true. Now drink up. I said drink up. Because tonight your soul's required of you. that we set as men of reason, armed with navy coal. Look way, we're paid in gold. But you stood witness to yourself at trial, you did betray. Look way, judgment day. We killed in the desert, killed in the street. Just what shall not be. Stood with pistols back to back. Now you stood your ground, but what ground is that? That kid, don't you know me? We are the last of the true. Drink up. I said drink up. Cause tonight your soul's required of you. That kid, don't you know me? We are the last of the true. Drink up. I said drink up. Cause tonight your soul's required of you. Yeah, the kid. So yeah, you could go, I've got it written down on the lyric sheet here. You could go pretty much, I could tell you every page that every line is from. Yeah, so much good stuff in there. The hell ain't half full. Somebody asked if that's what it says, and yeah, it's hell ain't half full. Because he was joining up with that filibustering captain, and the Mennonite told him, don't go back to Mexico. The war's over, and there's nothing for you down there but death, and there's plenty of room for you in hell. And it's a great line. It had to go in the song. Also, the drink up. Tonight your soul's required of you. How can you not make that into a chorus of a song? Yeah, I try to steal from the best. All right, another Nick Leakey question. Did you think about how these songs might read to the listeners that don't know the book and aren't familiar with the text? And at the time, I didn't think about it at all. There's a lot of questionable stuff in some of these songs. The subject matter is a little iffy. But luckily, most people at least know about the book, and if not, they know No Country for Old Men or The Road, and so they know who I'm talking about when you say Cormac McCarthy. And so I never really worried about any misunderstandings. And luckily, all the conversations I've had with people at bars across the country, whenever this book comes up and we talk about it, they always are very positive conversations. There's not a lot of arguing about it. It's just we usually have pretty productive, interesting conversations. And so yeah, it's kind of funny that such a violent book leads to such I don't know, positive interactions between people. But maybe that's the whole point. Maybe that's why McCarthy wrote it. All right, so Davy Brown. Davy Brown is a cold-hearted son of a bitch, cold-blooded, despicable even. You know, unless you're the judge, he's the most despicable and cold-blooded. But Davy Brown doesn't like the judge. Looking through the book, preparing for this, I remembered that he didn't want to bring the judge along when they found him out in the desert by himself. The gang comes across him sitting on a rock, and Davy Brown wanted to just leave him there. He didn't want to bring him along. There was something about the judge that Davy Brown didn't like right from the start. And he argues with him a lot throughout the book. He challenges him. You can tell he's not afraid of the judge. He might be one of the few people that's not afraid of the judge. He doesn't like him, though. And that's admirable. That might be the only admirable thing about Davy Brown. But, you know, outlaws make really good songs. So let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, and this song, I forgot. The song makes it sound like... It makes it sound like he got hung for setting that soldier on fire in San Diego. But that was just one of the times he went to jail. And I forget that he escaped that time. He bribed his prison guard and escaped and got back. Well, got back right around the time of the Yuma attack. But I don't know, that leads to another question about characters that I didn't get to write about that I would like to include. And that guard, his name's Pettit. He's only in the book for a paragraph. But if you could write his whole story, I think that would be a really interesting, really sad song, because you just get shot in the back of the head by Davy Brown at the end of your life. But yeah, that was just random. And the other thing is I couldn't find where you first hear about his string of ears that he wears around his neck. I know he dies with them, and the kid gets them after he's dead. But I don't remember those being introduced with Davy Brown. I remember them when you meet Bathcat, the Van Diemen Lander. He's got a string of necklace of ears. And I don't know if Davy Brown got it from him or, I don't know, somebody out there knows. Alright, so yeah, this is the Davy Brown song. Hell. Now, hey, Davy Brown. Well, you weren't going to kill it, but you can't tell it now. Take that shotgun and son on down. A string of them ears for Davy Brown. One step ahead of that hangman's noose, gonna take them all which when to come for you. Now, hey, Davy Brown. Now keep your eye on the corner and ear to the ground. When Whitneyville Colt cut a bunch of men down. And you one bloody bastard, Davy Brown. One step ahead of that hangman's noose, gonna take them all which one to come for you. Now Davy Brown, where you gonna be when the hammer comes down? I shoot the devil outrun his house, ain't nothing to it but to stay above ground. Hey, Davy Brown, when you woke up in town for the last time now, set up one fire in a West Coast town. I danced with the gals for Davy Brown. I danced with the gals for Davy Brown. You don't believe in hell, but you figure somehow, even if it's real, it's gonna spit him back out. Davy Brown, where you gonna be when the hammer come down? I'll shoot the devil, outrun his house, ain't nothing to it but to stay above ground. Davy Brown, where you gonna be when the hammer come down? I'll shoot the devil, outrun his house, ain't nothing to it but to stay above ground. Step ahead of that hangman's noose, you're gonna take them all with you when they come for you. Davy Brown here. Thank you very much. Alright. Thanks for sticking with me, y'all. Hope everybody's having a decent Friday night. As decent as can be. Alright. So, a couple more questions here. This kind of combines two questions. You said you didn't write lyrics for Lucero records until you're in the studio, which is true a lot of the time. Was it the same for this record? What was this writing process like? Were you underlining and transcribing, or underlining and translating stuff into verses, waking up in the middle of the night and grabbing the guitar, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, this was like writing a research paper. So there was a lot of underlining and a lot of note-taking. And, yeah, it was a really fun research paper to write, though. So, I don't know. And then I had to do a lot of research kind of outside the book, too, for some songs. Like Chambers, this next song. Like for him, I had to know, he's only in the book for a few pages, but Cormac McCarthy tells his story great, just on one page, basically. And I was like, that's an entire... his story could be an entire movie. That you can make into a movie, that one page. That would be a nice 2.5-hour movie. Or a 5-minute song. But yeah, I had to know, like, when exactly the Mexican War was. What the fuck was Mir? That was an expedition about 4 years before the Mexican War, actually. So he'd gone to Mexico, made it back to Texas, went back for the war, fell in love, and then when the army left, he had to go back. So he's back and forth all the time. Now he's back in Mexico trying to find his dark-eyed love. So yeah, I don't know, but McCarthy tells his story so great. I mixed up the line about the wayward sons, the cannonballs. He actually describes 2 cannonballs. One he describes as a wayward bull rolling down the street. And then later he describes another cannonball as a runaway son. And I like wayward son, so I just used what I wanted. Do you think Chambers in the book is Samuel Chamberlain, who wrote a memoir, which Cormac McCarthy tapped for a lot of his as a source material for Blood Meridian? Do you think Chambers died or found the dark-eyed love? I don't think Chambers represents Samuel Chamberlain. The kid maybe does a little bit, but I actually don't think Sam Chamberlain's in the book, in Blood Meridian. He wrote the memoir where a lot of that information came from, but I don't think he's a character in the book. Maybe the kid has a little bit of him in there. I think Chambers just kind of, his name is similar and he's got a similar background, but I don't think that's him. And then as far as whether he dies or not, let's listen closely to the lyrics and see what you think. Born under South Kentucky sky, well, here come West Mexico to fight. 1842 at Mir, the gutters filled with blood and fear. He barely made it back to Texas alive. The Missouri volunteers when the war began. In 46 they crossed the Rio Grande. They met his dark-eyed love. He said goodbye when the war was done. He swore that he'd come back for her again. Oh, oh, November. Oh, oh, your man is gone. Now maybe he's in Texas, but we'll take what God's left us. We'll leave for California with the dawn. He worked his way back to home, Mexico. reclaim the love he'd left 2 years ago. Back to those same city walls where he'd watched copper cannonballs like wayward sons roll down the cobblestone. Well, he put him straight in prison, left alone with other Yankee fools so far from home. Parade them through the square in chains, so then rode Captain Glanton's gang. Apache scalps for bounties paid in gold. Oh, oh, no V-Hunt. God damn it. I said, oh, oh, your man is gone. Now maybe he's in Texas, but we'll take what guys left us. We'll leave for California with the dawn. Now Glanton's men were killers, all by trade. All through the prison bars, a deal was made. Glanton needed 3 new men. He hired this lovelorn veteran, and the killers rode out through the governor's gate. The veteran left camp before the rising sun. The killer had left other work undone. He was not yet 2 days out when Glanton's naked native scouts brought back his empty horse and his brand new gun. Oh, oh, no V-Hunt. Oh, oh, your man is gone. Now maybe he's in Texas, but we'll take what God has left us. We'll leave for California with the dawn. Now maybe he's in Texas, but we'll take what God has left us. We'll leave for California with the dawn. Yeah, I fucked that up a couple times. I was getting in trouble trying to read comments and sing at the same time. Dumb. Doesn't work. And I was thinking about that "Oh Novia" line. I remember when I was writing it, I had to look up the Spanish word for girlfriend, and I got real lucky that it's novia. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that fits really nice in a chorus. I was like, oh, that's a perfect word to put in a chorus. So yeah, I got lucky. Let's see. All right. What's your opinion on Tobin, the only character other than the judge whose fate is never revealed? Does he represent some semblance of good in the gang to counteract the judge? McCarthy was raised Catholic, blah, 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 religious undertones. I have a feeling even though Tobin is an ex-priest, he probably still made the same fate as the rest of the Glanton gang. I have a feeling the judge tracked him down. But I don't know. As a character, I love Tobin. The fact that he's an ex-priest, but also a scalp hunter. He was maybe an ex-Texas Ranger, too. I don't know. Does he actually believe Judge Holden's the devil, literally? I don't know. It's hard to tell. When he's talking about all the talents that the judge has, speaking different languages and dancing and playing the fiddle and, so much knowledge. I don't know. It's hard to tell if he thinks it's otherworldly or not. By the end of the book, when they're getting chased through the desert by the judge, I don't know. Maybe by that time he's convinced he's the devil. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Is Tobin a good thing balancing out the judge? I don't know. I think that's more possibly the kid. I think the kid is the opposite of the judge. And so if the judge is evil, maybe that means the kid is good. at least somewhere down in there. I don't think Tobin's necessarily good. He's a nice guy, likable guy, and he takes care of the kid, or tries to at least a little bit. At least he gives him advice that he thinks is true. And Davy Brown says, the priest doesn't lie. So yeah, I guess he's, as far as Blood Meridian goes, yeah, he's a pretty good character. All right, the religious stuff, I don't know. Yeah, it suits the novel, I think. All right, let's just go ahead and play Tobin. I'm gonna try to keep this to about an hour, so we got about 20 more minutes. Here's Tobin. Hold on. Let me tune a little bit here. And yeah, speaking of what people that haven't read the book might think of the lyrics, this one's got some topics you don't usually cover in your normal rock and roll songs or folk songs. All right. This is Tobin. Well, I've done some preaching back in Texas before the war. Now I hunt heathens, cause it pays better than the Lord. But I ride with demons, devil by my side. Be it us or the heathens, we must all pay a heavy price. Now I seen footprints cloaked in the stone. Now tell me, kind of devil right there all alone with a sack of sinner souls. There must be a place where this world and grace are made to meet. Judge Holden is the devil, and his help is Mexico. If Apache don't kill us, Holden will for sure. Judge Holden's more preacher than I ever was before. Preaches of reason, preaches of war. Now I see footprints cloaked in stone. Now tell me, what kind of devil tried that long ago with a sack of sinner souls? There must be a place where this world and grace made to meet. He says this life's a game, so let's play for larger stakes and wait and see. Now I see footprints cloaked in stone. Now tell me, kind of devil tried that long ago with a sack of sinner souls? Tobin. Yeah, the hoof prints cloven into the stone. Yeah. That kind of, I was like, yeah, where the fuck did those hoof prints come from? What kind of animals walking on molten rock with hooves? Who the fuck walks on with lava? The devil. Yeah, that kind of got me. I had to put that in the song. Margarita. All right. So, one more song with lyrics. Let's see. All right. So, did you ever consider writing a song about the Delawares? The Indians that ride with Glanton and his gang. and this goes along with, have you thought about writing a part 2 to the record with other characters that you didn't get to on the first one? I already mentioned that Pettit guy that I wouldn't mind writing a song about. The Delawares would be tough. They ride with the Glanton Gang, but they're apart from it. They're separate from it. They sit at their own fire, and it seems like they have their own motives and agenda. They're almost a force of nature all on their own, completely separate from the gang. Now, it was historically accurate for McCarthy to put them in there. There were definitely Indians in the Glanton Gang. But I don't know. I think it was also important for the book just to show how complex, I don't know, Native culture was. You know, they're not just being slaughtered by these guys. And they're not just the ones, you know, Indians, they don't just attack the United States Army and slaughter them. And they're not just the ones getting slaughtered, they're not just the ones doing the slaughtering. It's a little more complicated than that. And I think the Delawares definitely show kind of how complicated it is. With Native folks hunting and killing Native folks. So that would be tough to put into a song. I'm not saying never, but it would be challenging. So yeah, as far as other people, yeah, I wish I would have had time to write Glanton. I was trying to get the record done before the revival tour, and I only had so much time, and I didn't get a chance to write Glanton's song. Or Jackson, the black guy, Jackson. Man, writing his whole backstory and his character, that would make a great song. So we'll see. Maybe, I actually listened to the demos for this today, and they're better than I remembered them being. So maybe for the 15-year Last Pale Light anniversary edition, there'll be a few new songs in the demos, and we'll make a big package, and we'll see. So never say never. Maybe the Delawares will get on there too. What character is your least favorite, and what character is your favorite? I don't have a least favorite character. I think everybody in the book, as despicable or likable as they are, I think they all play their part perfectly. That's the genius of Cormac McCarthy. Everything seems exactly spot on. So I don't have a least favorite character. My favorite is definitely Toadvine. Easily. He's got all the best lines in the book. I've got a whole list of just funny shit he says that I thought I might read to you, but we don't need that. Like, you know, like, oh, what the fuck? Never mind. Nope, we're not going there. When he talks about his hat after them fighting the mud when you first meet him, and yeah, he's my favorite character. Unfortunately, this song doesn't include a lot of those funny lines. I wish it did. It includes a couple of them. A lot of these lyrics are actually taken from scenes with the kid. Like I don't think God had me much in mind. That's the kid talking to the hermit towards the beginning of the book. And there's some other stuff that applies, well, that's just drawn from scenes with the kid, but it fit in well in this Toadvine song. This was the last song I wrote. I wrote it the night before we went in the studio. It was a little rushed. And also, I think there might be a lot. This song might be the one that has. It might be more about me than it is about Toadvine. I think Toadvine would be okay with that. Anything else I forgot to mention? Fuck it. Here's Toadvine. I roll myself into the ground. Well, hell, it's almost over now. I don't see nothing but the light. The darkness filled my days. The rising sun shone away. I don't see nothing but the light. The preacher's lesson simply Armageddon. The devil, he knows how to ride. A killer of men, no way to save them. We all have to die. think that I am a man is simply wrong, clear out of country, but oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, ain't nothing but the light. They took my ears and on my heart. They thought me dead, but I weren't at all. I left them bleeding in the mud. They branded me for horse thievery between my eyes for all to see. I left them bleeding in the mud. Now when this world was made, it was never meant to save everyone in kind. And I don't believe God much had me much in mind. You wouldn't think that I am a man could simply wrong out of country, but oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, there ain't nothing but the light. Tell me, barkeep, what is there to drink with just a minimal risk? Blindness or death, and I'll taste ashes. Seems that's always what we get. Hell, that's all we ever get. You wouldn't think that I am out of country, but oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, ain't nothing but the light. Alright, Toadvine kinda. It's tough talking and playing and talking and playing because I keep thinking of stuff that I forgot to say or wanted to say and I don't have time to say. And then I screw up the song, and then blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and do the last song on the record. I've never played this live, ever. And I can't really do it justice because I don't have Todd Bean and Rick Steff, who did an amazing job on this album. This song is The Judge. It doesn't have lyrics. That's why I never play it, especially when it's just me and a guitar. We wrote it in the studio. We'd recorded all the other songs already and had enough time to just do a little something. And luckily, I didn't have to write lyrics. And Todd Bean had this chord progression that he'd been saving, and he was nice enough to give it to me. And it's that ending part, the big chords at the end. And so I went to the trusty A minor, G, and F, and did a little lick, and stuck that on the beginning. And it's moody enough, spooky enough to be the judge. So we're coming up on an hour. I'll do just a bit of the judge, just to kind of finish things up. I'll pause it or stop it. Everybody can go take a leak or get a drink or something. And then I'll come back right after 10, or, well, 10 East Coast time, whenever. I'll come back right after the hour and start it up again. And maybe answer the last few questions, and who knows what I'll do then. Maybe do a couple of encore songs, I don't know. Maybe do a couple of requests. But thank you for listening to me babble about Last Pale Light in the West for a little bit. There's so much more to talk about. An hour is not really enough, but for now, let's do The Judge and stop for a second. We'll take a little intermission, I'll come back, and who the fuck knows what I'll do then. But Here's the judge. I've never done this before. So there's the judge, thanks to the afterneath pedal that I got from Earthquaker Devices, which is just awesome. So yeah, so there's the whole record. Never done that before in my life. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to stop this and save it to my stories so that you can watch it for the next 24 hours on Instagram. And then maybe I'll save it online somewhere too after that. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, we'll take a 5-minute break maybe, and then I'll come back. Maybe switch from margaritas to whiskey, and just do a handful of songs for an encore. I'm not ready to stop yet neither. Thank you very much, guys. What button do I fucking push? End.